Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I get into today's topic, I would like to let you guys know again that my store is up live and you can get to the link. But check out, some of my designs today. Making more designs every week. If you are interested in trying any more products, you can email me, talk about that as well. Looking to grow. I also like to reach out to homeless people. So any of your donations, purchases, or help, definitely just for watching and support. I really appreciate it. On to today's topic. I found a YouTuber that I literally started watching yesterday, and I've kind of been binge watching his channel since yesterday, and probably will watch some more after I do this. And the channel is The Public Offender, and I really like this guy and his channel. I know some men or people would say that he's pandering to a certain group of people, but people who tend to like the status quo the way it is don't like when people speak up and be honest about what that status quo actually is. And I just think that that's what people who don't agree with him, which is mostly men, they don't want to take accountability. They like keeping people, especially women, under their foot on their necks. So I really enjoy this guy, and I actually sent him an email. So if you're watching this, hey, because he's very refreshing to hear a man, especially a Black man, stick up for women, especially Black women, because we get dogged a lot, and really from a man's perspective, explaining exactly why we say men ain't. It's refreshing, because I think when women say it, they're always looking for a reason to discredit us. So especially if you're a Black woman, especially if you are older, especially if you are, say, divorced, or you have kids, you're a single mother, or any of those things, have a high body count, as they like to put it, right? They will make you feel like you belong in the trash bin and your opinion doesn't matter. Oh, it's only the ones you're dating. Choose better, right? All the gaslighting. I always say 99% of men ain't. And if I say that, especially coming from the situation that I come from, people will say you're bitter. It's just the men you're dating. You're just mad. You need to forgive. And do I look like I'm angry? I'm not angry at all. I'm not bitter at all. I'm totally even open to dating at some point again when God is ready for me to date and he sends the right guy along. I'm not against it. And I'm also am able to separate the good men from the bad. I am able to take accountability for the things I do or have done as a woman and other women may do. And if you watch any of my other videos, you would hear me talk about those things. But the sad truth of it all is that men ain't. If you really think about it statistically, if you think about it just scientifically, it's hard to find a good person, just a person that you can genuinely trust at all, let alone a man, right? And then if you cut that down, a good percentage of them are already married or in relationships, right? And then you leave the chunk left. How many out of those do you really think are really good guys? If there's a high percentage of single mothers, There's a high percentage of abuse. There's a high percentage of sexual abuse. They literally have centers for women to go to run from men. These are all men committing these crimes. These are all men. Mass shootings. Mostly white men don't do that stuff, but mass shootings. Men. Rape. Men. Yes, there's a smaller percentage of women who abuse men, but is nowhere near the extent of how it is for women. It's just not. So there's no comparison. And men try to act like they don't understand this just because they don't want to take accountability. They don't want to look within themselves and say, hey, I do have some Diddy traits. They don't want to do that because then they would have to say, wow, I need to reevaluate my entire life because I've treated every woman in my life like crap, right? They don't want to do that. They want women, we have to do all the work. They want us to do all the work. And then on top of that, if you got one that's broke and also not physically strong, don't know really how to do anything around the house, now you're doing triple the work. Because not only do they now want you to pay half the bills, they also want you to do everything else that you already are doing while they just be there. Like, we're just supposed to want their presence there. And then I was listening to one of the guys in his video, because he'll react to other like TikToks and stuff of men saying this toxic mess. And this older guy is basically speaking as if, men always make these comments like, you're going to end up alone with your cat. Like it's an insult. Like, that's not insulting me, sir. I love cats. You know what my childhood dream is? To have a farm full of cats. Like, I just want to have a whole bunch of cats, dogs, rabbits. I would love to be surrounded by nothing but animals and not any humans, let alone men. Like, why do they think we need, like, we're going to be so sad if we end up without them? I don't understand. Like, we have to have, the thing is, they do a lot of deflecting and projecting. They don't want us to see the actual point, the manipulation, the gaslighting, and all those things. So they keep redirecting the conversation to us. Well, what are you doing? Well, what about you? The what about youism, right? Instead of just talking about the whole point is that you are terrible, right? And then they project. They tell us you're going to end up alone with cats. And ain't nobody gonna marry you, this, that, and the third. That is their fear. Their fear is that they won't be able to touch another woman's body. Their fear is that they won't be able to continuously poke somebody for the rest of their life. That's their fear. Their fear is that they won't be able to have access to a woman's body. Therefore, they think, that's why there's a lot of men who think that women are out here cheating like men do. There are some women who cheat, and most women who do cheat are doing it for a reason. Like, men just do it just because they feel like they can. They do it because they get horny in the moment. They do it because they like to have control and want to have access to any woman's body, and they think they are allowed to have access to any woman's body whenever they want. But most times when women cheat, it's in reaction to something else. If most women cheat, if they are truly unhappy at home, men can have everything they need in a woman at home and still cheat just because they want their cake and eat it too. Women, if they go out and cheat, it's a reason for it. Not making it okay. I'm just saying it comes from a different place. It's a difference than a person, I'm robbing this bank just because I want money, and I'm robbing this bank because I truly need medical care and my child might die. You see what I'm saying? So this man is like basically making it seem like we absolutely need them. And, you're in your 50s and your 40s and you're single, you don't have no kids, you're not going to have, your life is meaningless without kids. Coming from a woman with 4 kids, If I didn't have, I absolutely love my children. I don't care how they got here, who helped you bring them here, what sperm donor donated their sperm to help. At the end of the day, my children are blessings in disguise. I don't know where I will be without them. There's a reason I get up every day and continue to move no matter how hard things get, honestly. But I'm not sitting around saying you as another woman needs to have kids, or you'll never be happy until you have kids. I know how it fulfills my life and my feelings. And yes, women are naturally nurturing, but that nurturing can go any kind of way. Every woman is not destined to have kids. And then he had the nerve to use the Bible. What? Is he used the Bible as if the women in the Bible felt unfulfilled unless they had a child. But the thing is, even in the Bible, the reason women felt unfulfilled for not having a child is because of what? The way society looked at them. That is society who making her feel that way. That's not her. We are capable of so many other things. So a lot of times men put us in this box so they can put us on the shelf and pick us up and play with us whenever they want to. And when they don't have that access, when they can't just stick their hands into the cookie jar whenever they want, now we're the problem because we're not cooperating. And it's crazy because these are the same black men who know how cops work. You're acting just like a cop. Just because he's asking you for your information doesn't mean it's legal and you have to give it to him. And you hate when people tell you, why don't you just cooperate? Exactly. Why do we have to just cooperate if we're not happy, sir? And another point that this guy made on his channel that I thought was really interesting and a great way to get men to understand is race and politics, right? So the same thing, if we know how it feels, how white people have always put us in second place and looked down at us and assumed all these things about us and put us in this category of not enough, while at the same time using us, right? Telling black people that we're unattractive, telling black people that we're ugly and we look like monkeys, telling us that we're stupid, telling us that we're ghetto, telling us that we are useless, telling us all of these things about us, right? While at simultaneously stealing our style, tanning their skin so they can be darker, closer color to us, stealing our hairstyles, stealing our music, stealing land, and oppressing us and making us do more work than they do and then call us lazy, right? So when it comes to women, that's the exact same thing. Now turn it around and look at how you treat women. They're making all the wrong choices, but you're the choices that we're making. How are you telling women that they're making all the wrong choices, but then turn around and tell us you're mad at us for not choosing you? Which one do you want us to? Do you want us to just randomly choose you and give you a chance, or you don't want us to? Because now we're thinking and we're like, okay, you tell us to choose better, and we're actually making those better decisions, saying, okay, I'm learning what narcissism is, and you're narcissistic, you're toxic, you're selfish, you're insecure, you're a cheater, you're misogynistic. Like I'm learning these things and I can see those traits in you. And now you're mad that we are smarter. You don't want us to have those rights that you tell us to activate and to use. And now you're like, no, I don't want you to use those. Now you think you're too smart. Doesn't that sound like some crap white people would say? Racist white people, how dare you decide to be smarter? How dare you decide to stand up for yourself? Now I can no longer use you. I can no longer just step on you because now you're having a voice and I need you to shut up. I need you to pipe down. Stop having a voice so I can continue to step on you. Doesn't that sound awfully familiar? So, the first video I was watching that kind of, I don't know, it just kind of popped up on my feed. I don't know. I never searched for him. But it was this Man of the Year challenge, and I have heard of this before. Outside of YouTube, I don't really use social media. I don't like to dabble or fulfill myself up with a lot of like negative relationship type things, because I do think to an extent it can be harmful, because say it's just like with the men, like if the men are constantly listening to what they call these red pill men, I guess is what it's called, and they're constantly telling them how, yeah, the women don't respect us, and yeah, they not supposed to want to do, they're listening to this crap from somebody, so that's empowering them to go out then and act on this, and over time they tend to get this emotion of, I actually hate women. They're treating every woman like this. Whereas you take the information, you learn from it, and you place it where it belongs. So, like I said, I know majority of men ain't crap, but I also don't want to have an overall negative outlook on dating, period. When I do finally go out to date, I still want to at least have, like I said, I don't want to go out looking for the wrong or the bad in people, because then you're going to find every little flaw, and you're never going to be happy. So I'm trying to keep which is hard to do, but trying to keep a good balance. And the only way I can do that is to stay single, not fool with nobody for right now. And when God is ready, you see what I'm saying? When somebody comes along that's worth my time, I know that's when I'll be ready, and God will lead me through it. At a certain point, I'm like, okay, I need to cut it off and watch something more positive, because I don't want to be walking around thinking everybody's narcissist, because, there's a lot of narcissistic people, or people with narcissistic traits walking around. And if you focus on that, that'll be your focus. But anyway, so the Man of the Year challenge. I don't know if it's on TikTok or Instagram or face to face or wherever it is, right? This Man of the Year challenge. Basically, it's just women posting their experience, which is mostly negative about a man. So, hey, here's the Man of the Year. He cheated on me, left me out in the cold, took all my car tires. Now I'm stuck on the side of the road with 6 kids, and he drove off on his motorcycle with another chick. That's basically what the whole point of this series is. Just to let men know, 1, you're crappy, and 2, warn other women, hey, maybe not try this guy. And this falls back into the category of, you're telling us to choose better, but you just don't want us to communicate with each other. You don't want other women to support other women. That's why men get mad when women support other women, and they're like, oh, that's what you are. You a girl's girl. You want me to not be a girl's girl. You want me to be combative and competitive with the other woman. So therefore, you will always look at each other as competition and then fight over you. That's what you want. So men are mad. So now they're being exposed for the bullcrap that they do. So now they can't move on to the next chick and just, freely do whatever to the next chick, because now everybody knows what type of man you are. I don't see the problem. I don't understand. What's the problem? There would be nothing to expose if you weren't doing anything worth exposing. I heard one of these guys say something about, we should do this to these women so we can ruin their marriages and all this stuff. Okay, you can't ruin a marriage if there's nothing to use to ruin the marriage. So whose fault really is this ruining? If you weren't cheating, how would she be able to prove that you were cheating? If you weren't being abusive, how would she be able to use that to ruin your marriage, your life, your career, whatever it may be? I'm trying to figure it out. If you're not doing anything worth exposing, there's nothing to expose. When Diddy got off on all his charges, or most of his charges, I didn't dig too much into it, because I know he's guilty. We all know he's guilty, but he's a man with a lot of money, and most of the things that he's doing is like spiritual. This is people. I'm not even gonna go that deep. But anyway, I saw a comment where somebody said, I'm glad he got off, or something like it was somebody that was just trying to get at him, and that was the only reason that this happened. And I'm like, if there was nothing he was doing that was worth being exposed, they wouldn't be able to get him. So just because, the whole point is, just because no one says anything doesn't mean there's nothing to be said. But don't do anything that would ruin your life. Therefore, you won't have to worry about being exposed. There you go. See how simple that is? How is it somebody else's fault when you get caught doing things that you're not supposed to do? Make it make sense. When you get caught by the cops or something, and then you're in court, do you ever tell the judge, well, if it wasn't for the cop locking me up? No, you don't, right? Because it's not the cop's fault that you were robbing the bank or stealing a car. So make it make sense. We can't only use logic when it's convenient for us, right? And hey, like I said, I'm neutral because I know women. There are women who cheat. There's no doubt about it. I know it is. I don't know what their personal situation is, right? And cheating is not okay either direction. So man of the year, woman of the year, if they're wrong, they're wrong. The person who's wrong can't get mad at being outed for being wrong. So the next thing I heard, well, the next thing he was talking about within that same video was the T app. And I guess this app, or whatever it is, is women exposing men who are basically creepy or whatever. So they're putting these men out here saying, hey, beware of this guy. So then men decided to come up with their own version of it. And instead of them being honest and just saying, hey, this woman just hurt my feelings and she actually did this. The thing is, this is just more proof that men ain't crap. Because when women have the app, just like everyday life, when we're talking about men, we're speaking about actual, real, creepy, abusive, manipulative, toxic things, behavior that actually happen to us. We're not trying to jab at men. We're trying to let you know, we're screaming that you guys are hurting us, literally killing some of us. But then the men get an app. They can't find any of that information. They can't actually tell us that we're being toxic. They don't really have anything to say. So therefore, they making up stuff. So therefore, they just gonna post revenge porn. I'm mad that I no longer have access to her body. So now I'm gonna give everybody access to her body. Not because she actually did anything to you, just because you're mad that you don't have control over her. That right there is proof that men ain't crap. You didn't even have anything to say. There's no valid information to give. There's no valid, my feelings are hurt, and watch out for this young lady. She's walking around with a hatchet chopping off man penises. You don't have anything to say. So you're finding reasons to embarrass women, not to out them, not to actually set things straight, not to actually make things better for other men, just to embarrass women because you're mad that you don't have access to her. Because let's be honest, with men, exes, whoever they are, when they get angry and send your pictures out to everybody or post revenge porn or go off on you, they're really just mad that they don't have access to you no more. That's it. If you continue to have sex with your exes for the rest of their lives, they will continue to give you money. They will continue to help you pay for bills. They will continue to be friendly as long as they feel like they have access to you. Once you close the door, literally close the door, and they have no access to you, they can't control you. They can't call you in the middle of the night. They can't be over your house. They can't look into your house and see what you're doing, stop you from dating other people, whatever it is they want to do to control some part of you in your life. Now, it's your a hoe. Now you're a thot. Now let's throw your picture everywhere. Now let's send it out. It's just toddler behavior. Large toddlers. And I'm like, okay, that's really just proving our point that men are terrible. You're terrible. And some of the worst ones are the ones who actually believe they are good guys, which is similar to my ex. A couple of my exes to actually believe they are good guys because they don't do this one thing, or that one thing that your ex did I don't do, so therefore I'm a good guy. So they actually think they're good while being narcissistic, while still being manipulative, while still being toxic, while still being controlling. They think that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. That is the sad part, because that means they have no awareness that they are terrible. And like I always say, there is a long, large spectrum you can be on that considers you a piece of crap. I mean, just because I'm nice to this person, but I'm not nice to that person, and I cuss this person out, I beat this person down for absolutely no reason, and I'm just being toxic and disrespectful, but I'm nice to this person because I like that person. Does that make me a good person? No. I just so happen to be nicer to this person. I'm still toxic. I'm still disrespectful, rude, bad, got anger problems. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're not hurting this particular person, or I didn't do this one thing, then that makes me a good person. It doesn't make any sense. So just because you're not cheating doesn't mean you're not a good guy. Doesn't mean you're a good guy. Oh, I'm coming home every day. But you're just there. You're just existing, just standing in the room, hovering, towering over, making sure she doesn't get anywhere. But, oh, I don't beat on her. Like, I don't understand the logic of men. And then they act like they don't understand this, but you do understand this, because everything that you're not, everything you're trying not to be, everything you're not giving women, you want women to be that to you. You don't want to be loving and caring and sweet and understanding to women, but you want women to be that way to you. You don't want to be supportive. You don't want to take care of. You don't want to do anything to empower the woman, but you want her to stand behind you and do that for you. So you understand it. You're not that stupid. You just don't want to do it. You want it for you. I was watching one about single mothers. And of course, this one, being a single mother, or if you're black, apparently you're a baby mom. Because let's be honest, as black women, we're always called baby mamas. White women, they get divorced or single, parents, they called single mothers. We're called baby mama. Okay. And I couldn't even watch it. It was like a live that he did with these toxic guys a couple of days ago. And the guys were basically talking about what a lot of men keep saying: these modern women, the women back in the day aren't like the women today. The men back then, we were better than the men that were back then, but the women are worse than what they are. Cut the crap. First of all, let's start here. Men were never good. How about we just leave it there? Flatline it. Never good. Not better, not worse. They were never good in the beginning. Never were. Maybe back in the Bible days, but now, no. Back then, my grandmama and your grandpapa, no. They just weren't ever good. The problem is women just got stronger. The problem is women got stronger because men were never good. Women had to continuously build themselves up. So we did not need men at all. So we didn't have to deal with the crap. Again, just like black people, just like how white people have been oppressing us since the beginning of time. So over time, all this time we have been fighting to get out of the shackles, necks from under their foot, so we don't have to answer to them, so we don't have to continuously try to live within their rules. So we create our own of everything. We live beyond what they tell us we can do. So now we don't need the white man to tell us that we're great. We can be great without them. It's the same thing. So this entire time, men have always been terrible. They've been beaten. Yeah, they were beating on them more then. They still beating on women now. Women are still getting killed by their husband. When you tell them this, they act like they never heard this stuff before. Are you kidding me? So what rock are you pretending to live under? That's like saying war? You mean to tell me that people go to war? When did that happen? What is war? DV? Domestic violence? Is that real? Like, why y'all acting slow? Like, y'all never heard of this stuff before. You know this. You came from the same family backgrounds that we came from. You know your grandpappy was whipping on your grandmama. You know your mama, your daddy probably was whipping on your grandmama. You seen your grandparent, your granddaddy, your uncles, and them cheating on their wives, which is why you think it's okay. And you just remember the women just laying down and taking it. So in your mind, you feel like, why aren't women doing that? Now that it's my turn to womanize. Now that I'm old enough to batter women. Now that I'm old enough to be narcissistic and manipulative and vindictive and all of these things, why aren't women complying so I can do the same thing my granddaddy was doing? That's basically what you're saying. It's just above me. But then what really baffles me is a lot of these guys, you guys have daughters. So then you give this whole spiel to us, and then you go to your daughter and sit here and tell your daughter, act all protective over her, and now you're like, I don't want her talking to no boys until she's 75 and being all like this, because you know men are crappy. You know, to the point that you feel like you need to protect your own child because you know what you are. Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in. Because the fact that men blame women for all of this stuff is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And honestly, I'm just tired of hearing it. I'm tired of it. She had a baby with him, and he also had a baby with her. You ever heard of it takes two to tangle? You ever heard that? And the thing is, the woman gets beat up, battered, and judged for it, but she's the only one sticking around. I'm the one who's taking care. All four of my kids. I'm taking care of my kids. And if we want to be real, I'm not getting any child support. I'm not getting any help. Okay? I get battered. I get put into a place of, it's my fault. I'm not good enough. I'm used and abused. I'm trash now. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve this, that, and the third. When I am literally showing my strength and my resilience and my compassion and my love, and the fact that didn't give up on my kids no matter what the situation is. I'm here for them, and I'm here for myself, and still thriving. If anything, I should get more credit. Good thing I'm not looking for credit from the world. Because if I was, child, I don't need you to tell me that I'm great. I'm just saying, women are doing a lot, and people still look at us like, but that brings me to my next point, because it's really not about that. It's jealousy. Men are mad that you mean to tell me you're a single mother and you still able to look good. You're still able to do things that I'm afraid of doing. You mean to tell me that you went through all of that and you still get to be a ray of sunshine? You're still smart. You're still loving, and you're really nice and loving to your kids. My parents weren't like that with me. That's a lot of men just jealous. Men really jealous of women out here. Jealous of the kids. The kids are getting more attention than I get. What did you think was going to happen after she had a child? I know it was one conversation that he was talking about how women have a baby and then they change and then they no longer cooperate with the man. No, as a woman who went through that, actually, but it's a saying that goes, women women are mothers as soon as they realize they're pregnant. Men don't don't even think about being a father until the baby is born. And most times not until they up and walking and can use the bathroom on their own because they don't want to change diapers. Right? So when you're pregnant and getting ready for it, you're preparing yourself while the man is just kind of there. He doesn't even realize what's coming until the baby gets there. And when he gets there, he's still expecting him to be number one in your life because he's expecting you to, oh, well, you're going to cover all the baby stuff. You're going to cover all the diapers, all that stuff. I'm just here to take credit. I'm just here to finish using your body. Is your body ready to be used again? How long did they say you can't do anything? Because I need access to your body again. There are literally men cheating on women while they're pregnant and right after they have a baby because they can't have sex. Because they just can't wait that long. You mean tell me I gotta wait a whole 9 months? Because if a woman's not comfortable doing that or can't while she's pregnant for whatever reason, they'll literally go out and cheat, or they feel like she's not attractive anymore because now she's gained weight. Now she's pregnant. Her body looks different. So now they go and make her feel even worse and go cheat on her because he can't get access to her body, or he doesn't want access because now she's not the same person she was before. This is what men are doing. This is why things change. And then after the baby's born, now she's exhausted because she's breastfeeding, baby changing. You know how often infants wake up in the middle of the night? She's not getting no sleep. And his only concern is, I don't get no more attention, and you don't pay me attention no more. And, I feel like we don't get intimate enough and stuff. Dude, we got a 2-month-old baby. You should be giving all that attention to her or him. They're more concerned of continuously having access to your body. And then now things are boring. Now the baby's screaming. They don't want to hear all of that. So now they're ripping around in the streets, cheating. They can do whatever they want. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So they go still doing whatever it is they want. And then the woman is doing all the responsible things. But the women are the problem. You want to tell me the women are the problem? The women are the problem. The women are the reason that your children are still alive, sir. The women are the reason why your children are being taken care of daily. The women are the reason why your children are here. The women are the reason why your black tail is here. Let's talk about it. I mean, I feel like I really need to see or hear from these guys' mothers. Like, where is your mothers? Because if I hear my son speaking like this, he get knocked upside his head. We're going to have a talk. We already got some stuff to talk about because he's going through some things. But we're going to have a talk. Because no, you ain't going to sit here and watch your mama go through all of this and then go on somebody's internet sitting here talking about how how women is the problem and women. You got to be freaking kidding me. Not you ain't. Not you ain't. Yes, I did say not you ain't. While you sit here and watch your mama struggle, and most of these men will sit there. You saw your mama struggling, but they're blaming their mother on their father's non-existence. It's something she did to cause his father not to be there. Meaning your mother left for you and her own good. Would you had rather her stayed so you continually watch her be abused? It's not your mother's fault that your dad wasn't there. I think a lot of these men really just need therapy, really. Jesus and therapy. And one thing I don't agree with him, the guy from the channel, the public offender, is he said that the Bible is, I guess, misogynistic and everything. It's just like how a lot of people take the scriptures from the Bible and manipulate it. They use the Bible to make slavery seem okay. And while there were slaves in the Bible, he also says to treat your slaves with respect. There's nowhere in the Bible that you're supposed to be whipping them and hanging them and all this kind of stuff. That was not in the Bible. So people take scriptures, pick and choose, cherry pick stuff out the Bible that they want to obey, the stuff that aligns or make them feel good, or the stuff that they are conveniently that's convenient for their life. They pick those things out and then they use that as an excuse. So just like how they did it with slavery, men do it with misogyny. They take scriptures and things, stories out the Bible and say, see, the Bible says, like they keep throwing out this scripture about a wife is supposed to be submissive to their husband, while missing the part where he also says, men, love your wives like you love the church. Your wives. Be submissive to your husbands. These men saying this, they're not even married. You're not even marrying the woman. You're just with her. You refuse to put a ring on her finger. And at this point, I'm not saying that you should, because nobody wants what they call a shut up ring. Nobody wants you to just do it just because somebody said you should. Nobody wants you to just do it so you can not look bad. At this point, just leave it a heck alone, because we both know you're just wasting their time. So they pick and choose things out the Bible so they can be misogynistic and get away with it. But God does not tell men to be abusive to your wives. You're supposed to love your wives and be gentle to them and loving. And women are supposed to be submissive to their husbands. But we also do have the right to divorce your black behind if you are cheating. That doesn't mean be submissive to you and stupid. That doesn't mean continually be a fool while you just, and that's the thing, men expect women to just be there no matter what they do, no matter what. And I have been that woman before. I will never do it again, but I have been that woman before. He's staying out all night and I'm staying up waiting for him with a plate of lobster tail and skimpy drawers on. Hey baby, no daggone, he didn't deserve any of that attention. The moment I stopped doing it, he felt entitled to it, to the point that he literally tried to rape me in my own home. It's like, how dare you not give me what I want? But he was cheating on me. He was barely home, making me take care of the kids, his child, by myself most of the time. And the only time he picked them up is when it was a holiday, Father's Day, when it's time to look, use her as a trophy. Look, I got a baby too. But you're not really taking care of her. And a lot of men think that living with the woman is that, oh, I'm there because you live with her. You're just in the house. You're just existing. You're still not actually being a parent just because you're there. And let's be honest, you're only there because you two are together. Because the moment she no longer gives you access to her, let's see how much you'll be there for them kids. Because most men will literally stop seeing their kids, stop doing anything for their kids because they're mad that the woman don't allow access to them. I'm literally living that truth right now. And I'm not the only one. As soon as they can't have access to you, as soon as they're mad at, and another woman I watched, she said that about how men would be like, baby mamas be doing this and they doing all this crazy stuff, trying to keep the kids away from them, using the kids as pawns and being men do that. Men do that. Men act like baby mamas. They get mad that they can't have access to you no more. I think when they have kids with you, or when you have a child with them, they assume that now they have access to you for the rest of their life. I remember my ex telling me that you belong to me. For you will always be mine, or something like that. He said, you belong to me. And he also said, nobody else would love me. Nobody else would want me because I had kids. And he assumed that because he had gave me 2 children, that meant nobody, one, I would never be able to find nobody else. And 2, that meant that he had access to my body just because I'm his baby mama. So I should be able to get it whenever I want. You gave it to me before. Why can't I have it now? That's how men think. That's how men think. And I wish I could just say, little boys, no, men. Grown, supposedly grown men. Tall toddlers is what I call them. And in the moment they can't have, and then when they can't have access to you, that's when they start to use the kids to try to get access to you. That's when they'll start this fake whining. I just trying to see, telling everybody in the world, I'm just trying to see my kids. I don't know why she doing this. I'm trying to see my kids. I just want to pick them up. And then you're like, okay, you can pick them up. I'll leave them at my parents' house. Go pick them up and I'll see you. Bring them back by Sunday. Don't show up. Because they were hoping that you would then say, fine, I'll bring them to you, or meet me at my house, or come to my house and pick. That's the thing. They no longer have access to me. They can't come to my house. I don't even want you to know where I live at. So now that you can't have access to me, you can have access to your children. You can't have access to me. Now, where are you? I thought you wanted to see your kids so much. I thought you wanted to pick them up. I thought you really wanted to see your daughter. You can't go telling people that ain't nobody letting you see them because I told you go pick them up and you didn't even show up. And then if I say, no, you can't get them this weekend, you got to wait till next weekend because you wait till the last minute, the day before to say, oh, I want to pick them up on a holiday. As if they were a last thought for you, but they're not last thoughts for me. They're everyday thoughts. Everyday, all day thoughts. I don't make any decisions. If I'm thinking about breakfast, I'm thinking about what am I and the kids eating? When I'm thinking about dinner, what am I and the kids eating? When I'm thinking about what I'm about to do, what am I and the kids about to do? Not what am I doing? Oh, the holidays, and the day before a holiday, I'm like, oh yeah, I got kids. Can I see them? Like what? So because I already have plans with them, and you decide to call the day before a holiday, and I say, no, you can't get them because we already have plans, that's your excuse to start saying, she won't even let, all I wanted to do is take them. She won't even let me, while leaving out the part of, I told you to come get them next weekend because I already had plans. While leaving out the part that you also haven't called or seen them in like 2 or 3 months, and now you just popped up out of nowhere and you're like, let me see them now. That's the point. I want control. I want access. And I'm mad that you won't allow me to have control. You don't get to make choices and have control when you're not doing anything to contribute or help. You're not actually being a parent. Right now you're being a long lost uncle. So sure, you can babysit them from time to time because that's all you're really doing is babysitting. And at this point, my oldest ones don't need babysitting. They can babysit themselves. But that's basically, that's the thing. That's the whole point. That's the stuff that they say baby mamas do. Baby men are doing it. Baby daddies are doing it. So then they realize that they can't use the kids to get access to you, because then when they were saying, I just want to see my kids, they were expecting you to allow them still access to you. Like when they said, I want to see my kids, what that means is they want me to let them come over to my house and come into my place so they can bring that spirit back around, and the enemy can try to get me back soul tied to something. So now that's the reason why I keep my space in my area clean of men. I don't have anybody in my house other than my children or my parents. Like that's the only people that come over here. I don't want anybody who's even knowing what, because I don't want that back in my life. So I'm keeping you at a distance for a reason. You can see my kids, but I don't want you back in no, you're not allowed to see the inside of my house. I don't want the enemy nowhere, because that monitoring spirit try to come over here monitoring me and all that stuff. So as soon as I don't give the access that they want, because the access that they wanted is for me to bring them directly to them so they can find a way to start some sort of argument, conversation, to dig into my life, like the manipulative mind games. That's all it is. The same thing that they say baby mamas do. Oh, she talking about come over there. She just want me to come over there. And then she gonna try to, when I get there, she gonna try to get me to stay there. And she gonna try the same stuff. They do this stuff. And as soon as I don't give the access that they want, no, you can't come over here. You can get them from my mother's house. You can get her from my mother's house. Because my mother they'll be over there, you know where she lives. That's a neutral space. You can meet and go. That's the meeting space. Pick her up from over there. Now that there is no way, you're not going to be there, you won't let me come to your house, and then you won't bring her to me. So therefore, I have no access to you. Now I'm not getting her at all. Now, who's that for? Are you trying to get back at me or your daughter? Because you're not hurting my feelings. I love my baby, and I don't mind taking care of her because I know I made her. This is what it's called, taking accountability. I'm not like, well, he need to come. No, you don't need to do nothing because I had her. I made the stupid decision of having her with you, but I had her. I had my children. So if she's gonna be here, she's gonna be here. As a mother, we all know we go. There's times it's like, girl, I need a break. But I will never throw my kids out the house if they have nowhere to go. I'll just be like, look, go in the other room. I need a moment. But if I got to take care of them, I got to take care of them. Or then they'll get them and then they'll drop them off at an aunt's house, drop them off at a grandparent's house, leave them somewhere with their girlfriend and they go out somewhere. Or they keep them long enough to do nice and fun stuff with them and then drop them back off. Because it's not about me actually being a parent. It's trying to prove something. It's trying to get back at you. That's all. That's it. That's literally it. That's all. So as soon as they don't have the access that they wanted, the access that they thought they would forever have, once you break up with them, now they want to know who you're messing with, where you at, where you moving, are you messing with somebody, and all of this crap. And they can't get in. And some of them will use your children. For a long time, my ex when he called, he would always call just to talk to my oldest daughter. Why? Because she's the one who can talk. She's the one who can give him information so he can manipulate her to tell him things that he don't need to know. I remember when we first moved into our first house, and this was with my fiance that we never got married. He first of all, barely called, barely heard from him for God knows how long. The moment he found out him and my ex were moving together, now all of a sudden he calling my daughter a bunch. Now all of a sudden he wants to be all up in her ear. I already know what it was. So, mind you, he's talking to her on the cell phone that he's also not paying for, right? So I catch her talking to him, and she's like walking around the house with the camera showing him the house. I'm like, don't do that. That's none of his business. He don't need to know what the house look like. See what I'm saying? Manipulative behavior. I'm gonna use our daughter to try to see what's going on over there, because I'm not interested in really having a relationship with my daughter. I'm just trying to keep up with what this woman is doing, and she won't let me have access to her. My daughter doesn't know that because she's a child. So I'm gonna keep using her to try to get at her. Now we're at the point where he couldn't do, none of those things worked. None of those things worked. So now he barely gets them, and he asks every so often to get them. It's always during the summertime, because of course during the summertime is my daughter's birthday. He only pops up during those times and pick him up to do fun stuff with him and bring him back, right? But one thing he also does is directly cash apps my daughter money, purposely refusing to give me any, but cash app her money for whatever she wants, knowing that I need it, but will refuse to give it to me because he can't have access to me. But I thought you really just wanted to take care and be there for your daughter. What do you think that little $20, $50 that you're doing sending her? She ain't doing nothing but buying games and toys and stuff with it. That's not supporting a child. Buying her toy, like, what are you doing? You sending a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old money and refusing to send child support to the mother of the child because you're mad you can't have access to her. But I guarantee you, if I was to just talk to him and give access to me, then he would feel like he had access. Then controlling, manipulative. You see what I'm saying? See how men act? Nothing's going to make me not want to be with my children or take care of my children. Nothing. The shoe would never be on the other foot because ain't nobody taking my kids because I take care of my kids. The kids have always been in my life. I don't care what the struggles is, homeless, whatever it is. I'm doing my best for my kids. And that's the thing, homeless and everything, going through all of this. I will say my son's father, he helped best he could. He did, like I said, he's a good guy. He helped best he could. I could always go to him and ask him for help whenever he could do it, he would do it. But the other two, I would never even ask. I would never give them the satisfaction of asking, not because of my ego, but because I refuse to play that game. I'm not playing those games with you. Some baby mamas are into the, all right, I'm gonna be cool so I can get him. Nope. If you're not authentically trying to take care of your children, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not playing this game with you. Just not. I'm just not. I'm not going to be playing buddy buddy with you to get something. I don't have to do that. I got Jesus. I'm not doing it. But these men want to tell us women who are living proof of the crap that men do. The math is not mathing, and I'm not even good at math. So, sum all that up, basically. I really like the guy's channel, and it's refreshing to have a man, or to see a man, especially a black man, stick up for us women, to really speak from a man's perspective and really let people know that men needed a lot of work, therapy, something, you know. Yeah, because marriage and all of these things, people need to get married. We need to get back to having whole homes, but without the abuse. You can't just force women to be with you just because you're a man. You can't assume that women just want to be or are afraid of being alone. Those days are dead and gone. That was the society that our grandparents was raised on, where they were told that they were nothing without a husband and children. They needed a husband and children to thrive. But they were miserable. They were miserable. So as time went on, women start to realize that just like I said, just like with black people, we don't want to be slaves. So we did a whole lot of stuff to get our ancestors, and they did a whole lot of stuff to get us out of that situation so we could be happy, no longer living miserable. Why would you want a woman or expect a woman to willingly go back into that lifestyle of being miserable just for the sake of saying she has a man? And don't let me start on the men who talk about women and their appearances, because there's always the fat, bald, beer belly, pop belly, out of shape, old, dusty man with crusty feet talking about how women look, how we should look, how we need to, why don't we keep ourselves together when you in a relationship, and then when you're out of a relationship you look better? Because of you. If you beat a woman down, she tends to start to look beat down. Just like if a person is depressed, do you think they're gonna get up every day and dress up and put on makeup and be perky? No, they're depressed. Use your common sense. But I don't want to hear nothing, because when's the last time you've been on a treadmill, sir? When's the last time you picked up something heavy that wasn't something you had to pick up, like a baby or trash bag or a grocery bag? I mean, like weights. Like, do something that was conducive to your actual health. It's like men expect women to look like J-Lo and Beyonce and Janet Jackson, while they still look like CeeLo if he ain't had no money. Or Shaq, but broke. Are you kidding me? You want a baddie, but you literally look bad. I don't understand it. Man. And this is why I am happy to be single. This is why I'm happy to finally step out of the delusion of idolizing a man, the delusion of wanting a man. Oh, there's my cat. Delusion of needing a man, the delusion of doing whatever it takes to have or be in a relationship, and no longer feeling like I need love from anyone in the world, let alone just a man. It takes some real soul searching, loving yourself, learning to love yourself, know yourself, and love who you are, and regardless of what other people think, but also getting closer to God and God showing you what love looks like, showing you the red flags. Because like I said, if it wasn't for God ripping the veil from over my eyes, I don't know if I would have been seeing all these red flags that I see now, all the things that's like really wrong with men and the relationships that I was in, and the stuff that I was allowing myself to endure, and just really just dealing with it, thinking that that's what women are supposed to do. Well, maybe, maybe I'm just supposed to, no, I'm not supposed to. I deserve love. And I don't care if I got 85 kids and I'm single. I deserve love. And I deserve to be treated correctly. I deserve to be treated like a woman, because I am a good woman. I'm a loyal woman. I'm a loving woman. And any man who's ever been in my life knows that. That's why they angry, because they can't have access to me any longer. You regret losing me. Because I know I'm a good woman. I know I'm loyal. I know that. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that. I mean, if anything, being a submissive woman, I'm literally too good at it. Which is why I had to stop doing it. I had to force myself to stop being a people pleaser and trying to love people who don't deserve the love and the heart that God gave me to truly love people. Loving on people that don't deserve it. Now I'm loving on myself, my kids, and God. And I'm going to see where that gets me. And if that means me being single with my kitty cats. Oh, they're my baby. Oh, there we go. He like, get off me. If that means being single with my cats and more cats to come, I'm okay with that. Because my cats don't abuse me. They love me regardless. They're very sweet. They're gentle. And they listen to me. I'm okay with that. You ain't insulting me by saying being a cat. I don't even know why people would use that as an insult anyway. I think that just like any other stereotype, they get this stereotype of some old lady in the house and she crazy and she got all these cats, and somehow a woman with a bunch of cats equals crazy and unhinged or lonely. And that's not what it means. I am a cat lady. I was a cat lady while I was in a relationship. I thought cat ladies were supposed to be single, because I wasn't single when I had like 6-7 cats. So what is that supposed to mean? Nothing. My cats are beautiful, loving creatures. And me having cats, and the more cats I have, says a lot about myself, because cats don't trust people easily. And the fact that cats immediately trust me when I meet them says a lot about my character. The fact that animals love me says a lot about my character. You want a person, especially a man actually, who has a good connection and can get along with animals and cats and stuff, because especially cats, again, they don't get along. The cats are not friendly to everybody. They're very particular. And animals, just like children, can smell a bad spirit from a long way. So me having a lot of cats is actually a compliment. Thank you. So thank you for watching. I'm going to put the link to the other guy's page, and you guys check him out. Again, I want to shout out to him because I really appreciate him sticking up for us ladies. If you would like to support my channel, again, I am a single mother, small business, small channel. I'll leave my Cash App and my email below if you want to order any products. And I also leave the link to my new store that is live. I'm about to start working on some designs now. If you want something custom, just let me know and we can work on it. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and please subscribe. If you got this far into the video, honey child, you might as well just subscribe and get it over with, okay? Thanks, guys. Bye.